Hey guys, Technomentary here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the iPhone 11 Pro and if it's worth it or not in 2021. In this video, we're going to talk about the hardware, the software, and if you should upgrade from the iPhone 11 Pro to the newer iPhone, and if it's really worth buying the newer phone or sticking with this iPhone 11 Pro, one of the flagship from Apple. But before we go ahead and get started with today's video, if you guys are new to our channel, we do a lot of tech news, reviews, and giveaways, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are in the market for one of the newer iPhones, so look to getting it cheaper, check out the link in the description section to some of the discounted phones that we have linked for you guys. As you see here in my hand, for today's video review, we have is a space gray edition of the iPhone 11 Pro. This phone was released in September 2019, so it's been well over 1 year since the phone has been released, and two different other iPhones have been released since the iPhone 11 lineup has been released. You have the iPhone SE 2020 edition, or the second edition, that was released early in 2020, so around the April time frame. And then Apple released its annual release of its flagship phone, the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro and the 12 mini and the regular 12 as well, with the 12 Pro Max lineup as well, which is equivalent to the iPhone 11 lineup. That's their annual release cycle. And let's talk about the 11 Pro here a little bit. The first thing you'll notice it has is a 5.80 Super Retina XLED display here. That display itself is the reason why these price point for the iPhone 11 starts at $999 at the base model. The base model, of course, is a 64 gig. And if you're looking to get more storage out of it, you would have to pay a little bit more. That's where the 256 gigs comes in. And of course, top of the line up for the storage on the max price on the 11 Pro or the 512 gig one. Of course, this phone does come in four different colors actually for the iPhone flagship phone. They usually stick with your gold one and then your space gray and one that you see here, and then of course the typical white one as well. But along with that, those three main lineup you have on the iPhone 11 Pro, you can get a special color, midnight green, which Apple released as well. So those are the four colors the iPhone Pro come in. So if you're looking for a different color besides the base color that they released, that's something else you want to look at. Let's talk a little bit more about the power and the hardware of this phone. So the iPhone 11 Pro does come with the A13 Bionic chip, and it starts with 6 gig of RAM, which is pretty powerful phone compared to some of the previous generation of iPhones that you have. Of course, with the 11 Pro, every year since they release a newer version of the chip. On the 12 Pro, as you see right here, it does come with the 14 Bionic chip. The one-step leap, does that really make much of a difference in terms of computing? Not that we have seen really much of a difference between these devices. Of course, another thing of hardware you look at is the whole body itself. As you can see here, the iPhone 11 Pro does have this stainless steel body. You have this rounded edges, and that's what I like about this phone. It's really unique in terms of the design that it did release compared to the iPhone 12 Pro. As you can see, the edges on this phone has become more square edges here, so they went more industrial versus the more rounded edge. I kind of like the 11 Pro's body compared to the 12 Pro. As you see here, if you look at the body comparison ever so slightly, you see that, you know, the 11 Pro is a little bit slimmer than the 12 Pro here that we have. And let's finally talk about the camera here. As you can see on the back of this phone, you have the triple 12 megapixel camera, which is featured on most of its flagship phone, starting with the iPhone 11. Of course, the iPhone 10 lineup had dual, and then with the 11 lineup and the 12 lineup, you have the Pro edition featuring the triple camera, which is pretty much industrial grade video photography camera out there for any smartphone. And that's what Apple is really known for. It's its cameras, and that's why people usually buy iPhones, is that they're looking for that experience. Great, of course, talking about the camera, it does come with different features for just regular photography to some of the more enhanced features, such as the whole photography experience that you get with the portrait mode and the different set of lightings that you get. And if you're looking to do video recording, of course the iPhone 11 Pro does even an exceptional job. It goes up to 4K 60 frames per second, and on the lower end you're gonna get that 1080p 30 frames per second if you didn't want to use up a lot more of your memory. But if you're looking to record videos like YouTube or even make small movies, it's really a great camera to do such thing. And that's what makes this phone just phenomenal, is the camera feature alone, which, you know, if you're looking for this sort of camera feature, you're gonna have to buy cameras, if just for the camera itself, any cameras that are over $500. That's the kind of camera quality these phones have, and hence why it makes it such a phenomenal phone. Let's talk a little bit more about the hardware itself, is its IP rating, or the rating for it to be submerged underwater. So if you splash a little bit of water, most likely most smartphones nowadays are water resistant, and it won't really do much anything to the phone. And unless the phone has been repaired, you know, that might be an issue. But this does have an IP68 rating, so it's able to be submerged in 4 meters of water for 30 minutes without having any functional issue. Of course, you probably don't want to do it because who knows, you know, with any kind of phone, if there has been any sort of damage or break-in points, you're going to have that phone, the liquid get into the phone, and that could cause some issue for you later down the line. So wouldn't recommend it, but it does have that water feature, resistability feature into it. Let's talk about the next piece. The big part is the software itself. As you can see here, this 11 Pro has been upgraded to the iOS 14 update that Apple has released, but it does ship with the iOS 13. So if you're buying a new one, the one that when you start it up, you're going to get is iOS 13. And of course, with the software itself, it's pretty much up to you if you want to upgrade. As you see here, we upgraded to iOS 14 to get the most out of this phone, and we're up to date on the phone here. The most notable features, of course, of iOS 14 is an enhanced widget, and then some of the other features like picture-in-picture motion, improved augmented reality feature as well. But the software itself, whether you're running on iOS 13 or 14, has been exceptional, and we haven't seen any issues of app crashes or lag or glitches. That's usually the complaint whenever you're looking to upgrade. Even in terms of the performance speed, we haven't seen much difference. So going into 2021, you know, your software itself is pretty exceptional compared to even the 12 Pro here that we have. You know, it's running the same software, and you're not going to have any issues whether you're running on iOS 14 on this generation phone that comes with the iOS 13 shipped. So if you're looking to do things such as stream videos, like if you watch a lot of video on Netflix, YouTube, any sort of pretty much streaming services, this phone is phenomenal for that. There's no complaint on it in terms of just streaming in any kind of videos at 4K too. You're not going to have any issues there. It does hold up pretty well for most of the popular streaming apps such as Disney Plus, Hulu, and all of that you have. The other section, of course, you know, that most people use their phone for is social media. And social media on this phone, all the apps are pretty much supported. Of course, they are going to be supported because it is iOS 14, and this phone is most likely going to be supported for at least 3 to 4 years. It's going to get the software update, so expect it to be fully supported until 2024. And although, you know, it's going to stop getting the updates, it's going to last another couple years after that. So theoretically, this phone is going to be good for at least another 5 years if you're not looking to upgrade. And that's why this phone in 2021, from a software perspective, it's going to hold up pretty well. If you use this phone, of course, for just simple calling and texting, things like that, of course, that itself, you're not going to have any issues. Of course, that's what the iPhone is meant to do. And if you can't do that, simply, you would have to switch over to another phone, and that phone itself, it's just phenomenal for that kind of stuff. Things like browsing, right? As you see here, even on a decent Wi-Fi, the browsing is exceptional. No issues there at all. It just loads off pages without really any issues. As you see here, we're able to just click on a button and it's loading up text without any issue. And if you're a person that uses for things like Spotify to listen to stream music, it does have built-in studio grade stereo audio, so the quality that you get out of these speakers down here, again, exceptional as well, flawless in terms of the quality. You get that. And if you're using it for headphones or even using AirPods, right, that doesn't come with the phone, but these are phenomenal accessories to get it, because of the Apple pairing, it does just a phenomenal job in terms of supporting that feature. And if you're using this phone for other things, such as mentioned, online shopping, Amazon, whether it be eBay. That's why if you guys are looking to buy a cheaper phone, these phones can be found around $700 or so in 2021 compared to the $1,000 tag. So it went down about $300 to $400 depending on the size you get. So that's why check out the link that we'll include for you guys to the ones that are found the cheapest on Amazon and even eBay. Make sure you guys check out our unboxing videos that we have done for these phones, where people are able to get these even $400 or $500 off. So you're almost getting a 40 to 50% that you would have to pay in store versus buying it online. Maybe it's a secondhand device, but the software itself defines these phones. And as you see here, running iOS 14 on 11 is still supported. Hence why this makes, the iPhone 11 just a really unique phone to utilize for your everyday usage, to doing advanced stuff, such as if you're looking to use it for gaming, whether you're using it for just watching movies or listening to music, using it for your social media. All of that stuff is phenomenal. All of those apps are supported and most likely will be supported for a very long time. Hence why we definitely recommend this phone. And compared to the question that we had, is it the iPhone 11 worth it in 2021? It absolutely is worth it. The one thing that we're going to say about that is that if you're looking to use 5G, which that's probably the biggest difference between getting the iPhone 11 Pro versus the 12 Pro, is if your carrier supports 5G. So as you can see here, the 5G antenna, which is not here available on the iPhone 11 Pro, is probably the only biggest thing we're seeing the difference between it is. And whether that's really makes it a game changer or not is, if you really think about it, 5G is very recent. So phone carrier that supports 5G, and there's only the big carriers that support 5G in the US market. So you might not really even feel the difference between 4G LTE versus 5G at that point. So unless, a couple of years down the line, of course, you might consider 5G where it becomes more mainstream. But at the current day, 5G is the only thing that's not available on the 11 Pro compared to the 12 Pro. And that's the only thing that would, be a case where it might not be worth getting the iPhone 11 for. But asides that, in terms of your hardware, your software, and everything like in terms of performance, the iPhone 11 Pro is definitely worth it in 2021. And we guarantee if you're buying the iPhone 11 Pro in 2021, it's definitely worth it. Go ahead and buy it, and you'll see how awesome this phone is to do what you're looking to do on a phone. And that's just our take on the iPhone 11 Pro going into 2021. Thanks for watching, guys. If there's something we missed, or if there's something you love about the iPhone 11 Pro that you want to share with us, leave it in the comment section. And if you guys haven't done so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.